This doorbell cam video capturing a fiery plane crash that claimed 7 lives. Among the victims, former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, and his 2 children, 14-year-old Emma and 5-year-old Ryder. 3 other people were also on board the private jet.
It looked like a bomb going off. It just black smoke everywhere.
Josh Green was playing golf nearby when the plane went down.
It's flying from this way. It was way too low. Huge explosion.
He says he shot this video after calling 911.
All we saw from our point of view was the plane nosedive into the ground, a mushroom-like explosion, and we felt the heat.
Authorities say the plane departed for Sarasota, Florida, Thursday morning in drizzly and foggy conditions. Flight tracking data show the aircraft turning around moments after takeoff.
Here comes Biffle. Greg Biffle is back to the lead.
Biffle was a NASCAR Hall of Fame nominee, winning 19 Cup Series races in his career. Beyond the track, he was also a licensed pilot, posting this photo of himself flying the same plane back in September. When Hurricane Helene devastated western North Carolina last year, Biffle flew helicopter missions to help save lives and deliver supplies.
We were just people helping people.
Biffle's passing has rocked the world of motorsports. NASCAR posting his passion for racing, his integrity, and his commitment to fans and fellow competitors alike made a lasting impact on the sport. Richard Petty writing, Greg was not only a fearless competitor, but someone who showed that same fearlessness in his generosity to others. Kyle Busch posting, the memories we shared both on and off the racetrack will stay in our hearts forever.
And families of the crash victims released a joint statement saying that they're heartbroken beyond words. Greg Biffle and his wife Christina were described as devoted parents whose lives centered around those young children. Savannah?
What a tragedy. Kathy, thank you very much.
We begin with breaking news about a deadly plane crash. The North Carolina Highway Patrol believes former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his immediate family were killed when his private jet went down in Statesville, just north of Charlotte. The plane burst into flames when it crashed.
The plane went down while it was trying to land there at Statesville Regional Airport. The Highway Patrol says 7 people in all died in this crash. Now, we have live team coverage tonight with News 13's Mark Liverman sharing more on Biffle's impact right here in the mountains and how he was a pivotal force in Helene recovery. We also have sports director Chris Womack taking a look at Biffle's accomplishments during his time as a NASCAR driver.
But first, News 13's Kimberly King is live at the Statesville Regional Airport with the latest information on this tragedy. Kim, what can you tell us about this crash?
Holly, witnesses say they heard a huge boom around 10:20 a.m. this morning and then plumes of smoke billowing up from the crash site. There is still a debris scene here at the Statesville Regional Airport. Behind me, the FAA has secured the scene as the investigation continues into what caused the wreck. This is video of the crash at 10:20 a.m. from a home security camera. It shows the fireball flowing across the ground, huge plumes of dark gray smoke billowing from the site. Another witness shot this video that shows the large Cessna Citation 550 jet owned by Biffle going down. Emergency responders rushed to the site. A witness said the plane was flying very low and plummeted to the ground.
When I walked over there, you could actually see the flames, and I mean, it was huge.
Highway Patrol late today confirming Greg Biffle was one of 7 on board who died. A business partner and NASCAR personality close with Biffle posted his friend was flying to Sarasota to visit him. He added that Biffle's wife Christina, their 5-year-old son Ryder, and Biffle's 14-year-old daughter Emma from a prior marriage were all on board. This is what another witness said as the crash unfolded.
My dad came in and was asking me, like, did I see the plane crash? And I was kind of distraught out that that's what is the sound that I heard. So we kind of checked the cameras just to fact check, see if that was actually what happened. And once we looked at it and we seen it, it was kind of just very heart-wrenching.
The flight path shows that Biffle's jet took off from Statesville and then appeared to turn around, crashing down. Highway Patrol said investigators will stay on the scene overnight to protect evidence scattered across airport grounds. FAA investigators worked the crash site all day. NTSB will take over tomorrow. The Cessna Citation 550 is a large jet, not a prop plane. The family tragedy and NASCAR legend respected and known for his kindness lost as investigators work to determine why it went down. The weather at 10:20 this morning had a low cloud deck in the area and then light drizzle that had started to get heavier. But a pilot that I spoke with told me that it is way too early to even postulate what could have caused this until the investigators see if there was a major mechanical malfunction with the jet. Reporting live from Statesville Regional Airport, Kimberly King.
A's.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHEM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHEM, Wakwak, Qudash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Wahawathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This brother Kawakab coming at you with no lesson. Shalom to speckled brother, they may look like the other nations, but are actually Yasharala. This is brother Kawakab. Basically, with today's lesson, we're going to go into this, where there's this plane crash with this NASCAR driver and I think it was some of his family, not all of his family. And basically what happened here is, this is just the reality of it is that this is just judgment from YAHAWAH, although oftentimes people really don't want to hear that type of stuff. There's just no other explanation. There's no sugar coating. It's just like, that's basically what it is. That's how these things go. As a result of that, I also kind of wanted to get into some of the things that I heard them say, this is something that I always hear in news stories like this, where, oh, someone died, they was the greatest person ever, they were the this, they were the that, they were X, Y, and Z, like they were always so kind. But yet, and one of the things that I have noticed is how people always will. I'm not even saying that. Okay, well, you're not allowed. You can't lie. Or you can't say something like just for the sake of it. But it's like, you understand how how it's viewed because the thing is that how people speak is like literally anyone that dies. Or damn near anyone that dies and they have money or whatever, or it's not even just that they have money, but anyone that dies always, they were the greatest person ever, or literally no one that has ever died prematurely is a terrible person because X, Y, and Z, that this and the third and whatever. It's like conveniently every single person that is killed, every single person that's killed or dies in some horrible way is they were actually just they were a saint, they were the greatest person ever, they were X, Y, and Z and whatnot, rather than let's get this precept. It's in Job chapter 4 verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or were the righteous cut off. So that's the thing. As a matter of fact, let's get another one. I think it's in Sirach chapter 2. Yeah, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So the thing is, like, when was the righteous forsaken? When was the righteous left to suffer or to be destroyed by our enemies? Like these are the things that you have to kind of take note of and keep in mind. Where why would the Lord allow something so terrible? And apparently it might have been an error or mechanical error in the plane, which caused it to have that path. I'm trying to see. Yeah, here. Where is it? Here, which kind of caused it. I think this was the point. Where is it? I don't remember, but basically you see the thing where this is. I think the path it took before it crashed. All right, so as a result of that, let me also get this. I want one more before I get into this. Over here, Luke chapter 18 verse 19, and Yahawashi said unto him, why callest thou me good? None is good save one, that is Yahweh. So if Yahawashi is over here saying, not even I'm good, only Yahweh is good, then what makes people think that they can start calling all these other people good or whatever and stuff like that? And this is just in the sense of whom the Lord chooses to protect, whom the Lord takes favor in. All right. Hence wild statements saying, oh yeah, this person was the greatest thing, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. But of course, and this is not even a video like made to like bash this dude, because I don't even know who this Greg Biffle is. Obviously I now know that he was a NASCAR driver, right? But the main thing that I'm trying to portray is a common occurrence where people just exalt and say, oh, this person was the greatest thing since sliced bread, X, Y, and Z, whatnot, rather than actually acknowledging or I guess celebrating people for what good that they did. But when I say good that they did, I mean good that they did to the people that they cared about rather than good in general. Because a lot of times these people like this, they don't really have any good quote unquote accolades. All right. And I'm not saying that this person did or didn't. I'm just saying in general, because this is a general lesson I'm trying to make out of this, where generally people don't really have any good quote unquote accolades where they were nice, they were kind to the people that they cared about. But let's actually get that to see what the Lord says about that. Luke chapter 6 verse 34, and if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. Basically, if sinners are going to help other sinners out, if the wicked are going to help other wicked people out, then of course, yeah, they in their little circle of wickedness, they can get gain from one another. But when it comes to giving to whom actually needs it, rather than giving it to other wicked, like it's kind of like giving money or lending. Let's say, for example, lending to a rich person, and you know that the rich person is going to pay you back. But if you freely give money to someone that's poor, all right, and you know that they can't pay you back, and you don't expect them to pay you back. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Where is that one precept? I'm trying to think. It's okay, yeah, I think it's here, over here. Bear with me one moment. Hold. So Rock chapter 12 verse 2, do good to the goodly man, and thou shalt find a recompense, and if not from him, yet from the Most High. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, if you're doing good to someone that is righteous, and they may or may not be able to pay you back, even if they don't pay you back, the Lord basically is going to pay you back as a result of you helping them. The Lord's going to, like cover their tab or whatever. Like, I think that's the best analogy to kind of show, where rather than you worrying about, oh, is this person going to pay me back or whatnot, the Lord just takes over in that regard. All right. So hence, that's the thing to remember. All right. Anyway, let me see. Next. So next, Psalm chapter 12 verse 8, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Basically, the wicked are the ones, the vile, whatever, are the ones that are always exalted. They're the ones that are always saying like, oh, they were the greatest person ever. And like, that's also which is actually crazy to me. That's also a thing where there are some there are instances when even like hood jakes and whatnot that are in the streets or whatever, even when news stories are done on their deaths when they were literally like gang banging or doing some stuff like that, even the families and the news anchors will say, oh, he was such a great thing in the community, he did this, he did that, whatever. And then like maybe I wouldn't know if that's true or not, but apparently, you know, sometimes some people do acknowledge like, what are you talking like, that's not, but that's not true. But and also just like, okay, well, this is just to kind of like, you know, give people or only speak well of them. It's like, why are we just ignoring the things that people do in that sense? Like it's and it doesn't even have to be in a sense like that. It's just like you're making, it's kind of like you're making a story and you're transforming it and the facts in order to garner sympathy or garner a story to begin with, when it's like, okay, well, sometimes I guess that's not necessarily needed. You don't really need to do a story on that, especially if someone is like, okay, well, like if you don't want to talk bad about a person, then about a person, well, then it's like, okay, well, you don't need to talk about them at all. That's not really a necessity if you understand like why bother bringing them up in the first place, is instead of, okay, well, I need to make a story, I'm going to do this X, Y, Z, whatever, and stuff like that. All right, so that was just something that I kind of heard. I never really saw it myself because I don't really know people like that. Like if I've never met someone that's like a part, like actively like a demon and whatnot, and then I heard that on the news they got killed, X, Y, and Z, or something like that, and then the news people say all these kind things in interview about them and whatnot. Anyway, Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. Oh, actually no, I think I did hear about that. There was that one story. It's not someone that I knew. It was actually verified from the internet, where what happened was there was this high school coach or whatever that was killed, and they basically said, oh my god, he was such a great person in the community, he did this, that, and the third, X, Y, and Z. And maybe partially that was true, but they forgot to add the part that coach that got killed, that was shot to death, he slept with his former student's wife at the time. So that was just something that like they just completely left that information out. All right, and I actually did a lesson on that. They just completely let that information out and then was demonizing the dude for killing them, which, okay, sure, I guess he shouldn't have killed them, but at the same time, it's just like you guys were making the other, like, maybe I think the best thing to say was like either the most PC thing to say was that nobody was in the right and literally no one deserved to be, you know, spoken well of or anything like that. But anyway, Hebrews 10 verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, which, you know, sometimes stuff like this, you know, a plane crash, it is one of those examples, because, you know, you might think, oh yeah, I have all this money, or I have all this, that, and third, or whatever, but yet when stuff actually goes wrong, you know, they don't know what the cause of the plane crash was. And it's just like something just happened, even though, oh, we did all the checks, everything was good, and it was good when they took off. But then now it's like, okay, now this stuff is terrible, now this bad stuff has happened, and then that's like, well, your money didn't protect you, your money is not saving you, even though, oh, you have all this money to ensure your safety and all that stuff and your family's safety, but this is what happens. Okay, Luke chapter 12 verse 21, so is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Yahawah. That's basically the thing where the same way that the Lord can, you know, take away anyone's life, the Lord can take away a rich man's life, and then they are not rich towards YAHAWASHI, but they are rich carnally. But yet still that richness, all right, cannot protect them, or is not going to protect them, or is not going to deliver them from the judgment of YAHAWASHI. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem, Rakwakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great most, and Abad Ball, and Shalom.